Once upon a time, in a small village nestled between tall mountains and dense forests, there was a young woman named Naya. Naya wasn't like the other young women in her village. She was unusually strong. People would often whisper in awe about her, for not even the strongest young men could lift as much as she could, or run as fast, or work as long. Though strength was rare for a woman, it was something she had from an early age, and she honed it with dedication. As Naya grew older, her strength became something of a legend. People came from other villages just to witness her incredible feats. She could lift huge logs, outrun the swiftest hunters, and carry twice as much water as anyone else. Yet, despite her strength, Naya was gentle and kind, never one to boast or seek recognition. She used her abilities to help her family and her village, never demanding any favor in return. One year, the village elder announced that they would host a grand tournament. The village games. It would be an event to celebrate strength, agility, and courage, with events ranging from wrestling matches to archery, and a final event, an endurance run through the forests and across the river. The men of the village were excited, and each was determined to prove himself as the village champion. However, something unexpected happened. When the sign-up sheet was posted in the village square, the first name on the list was not one of the young men. Instead, in bold letters, everyone saw Naya. At first, the villagers laughed. A woman competing against the men? It was unheard of. The young men scoffed, saying that the tournament would be easy, that it was just a little friendly competition, and that Naya should stick to tasks like gathering water or tending the fields. Naya only smiled, choosing not to respond to their taunts. She knew that this was her chance to show that strength and skill had no gender. The day of the tournament arrived, and a crowd gathered to watch. The first event was wrestling. Each man stepped into the ring, and one by one, they challenged each other. The crowd cheered as the strongest men of the village showed their prowess. Finally, it was Naya's turn. Her opponent was the largest man in the village, Kofi, a hunter known for his fierce strength. When they began, Kofi moved to grab Naya, but she was too fast, sidestepping and pushing him off balance. She dodged his moves skillfully, and after a few clever twists, she brought Kofi to the ground. The crowd fell silent, shocked at what they had just seen. Naya stood, offering Kofi a hand, and he shook her hand with a newfound respect. The second event was archery. The target was set far in the distance, and the archers took turns showing their skill. When it was Naya's turn, she took her stance, focused her gaze, and drew her bow. She released her arrow, and it struck the bullseye with such precision that even the eldest archers were astounded. The last event was the endurance run, a grueling course that went up into the mountains, through the forest, and across the river. The men of the village were certain they had the advantage here. They had trained for years, hunting in the forests and scaling the mountains. But Naya was determined. As the run began, the men took the lead, laughing as they sprinted ahead of Naya. But as the course grew harder, some began to falter. Naya kept her pace steady, her eyes fixed forward, her breath even. She moved through the forest with agility, crossing the river with ease, and steadily overtook one man after another. Near the finish line, she found only one man ahead of her, Tun, the fastest runner in the village. As they approached the final stretch, Naya summoned her last reserves of strength and ran with all her might. Just as they reached the finish line, Naya pulled ahead, crossing it just seconds before Tund. The crowd erupted in cheers, and the village elder stepped forward, raising Naya's hand in victory. The elder addressed the crowd. "Today, we have witnessed something great," he said. "Strength, resilience, and honor do not belong to one gender alone. Naya has shown us that courage knows no boundaries." From that day on, Naya was known as the village champion. She continued to use her strength to help the villagers, and her story spread far and wide. Men and women alike came to train with her, learning the values of resilience, respect, and kindness that she embodied. And so, the tale of Naya, the village champion, was told for generations, reminding everyone that true strength is found not only in the body, but in the spirit and heart. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe, like, and share to get more interesting folktales.